Caroline and welcome to Flosstube number 19. This is my little corner of the internet where I talk all about cross-stitch and sewing and knitting and all the other crafty things I get up to. Yeah, I haven't mentioned the running number of Flosstube in a while, but just kind of wanted to do it today. 19. We are getting close to 20 there, obviously. I think the heat is already getting to me. So yeah, I'm back a little bit early this time. It's been 12 days, not 12 days since I last filmed. But again, trying to get back to weekend filming. So yeah, that's that. I'm also filming kind of early in the day. It's 9 a.m. on Sunday, June 30th here. And boy, it's hot already. I think today is supposed to get 35 degrees Celsius. I will put up here what that's in Fahrenheit. And it's humid, and yeah, so we are sporting the freezer bag behind my camera again. And what I normally don't do, but I will be doing today, is drink during filming. Actually, this is a new purchase. I watched the last video of Emily C. Eclectic Possessions, and she recommended that bottle. Me with my pronunciation, I'm sorry. And it's Ovala brand, and yeah, that thing keeps my water cool for really long, even if it's super hot outside. And yeah, we'll need to have sippy noises today. Also, I straightened my hair today. I don't know why I bothered, because probably in like half an hour it will be all over the place again. And I usually don't straighten my hair, just felt like it today. And I had a side part and I felt like I was 22 again, so I had to change that to a middle part because that was a weird feeling. Back to okay, I'm like a few minutes in and already on a tangent. It's the heat. Let me tell you, it's the heat. I don't mind the heat so much. I hate it when it's humid and you feel like you can't breathe. So that summer is going to be interesting, but I guess in August it will be cold again, so whatever. As I said, back to the topic. I am here a little bit early, so I don't have as many projects to show you that I worked on, but I want to share my plans, my Jolly July plans, my Christmas in July plans. I wasn't planning to do that much Christmas in July, but my friend Alex inspired me to get all my Christmas whips out and have some new starts as well, and yeah, we will talk about that. I will not do a mid-year whip parade. I feel like my last whip parade was like 2 weeks ago, when it was at the beginning of the year, and the year is half gone now, which is weird. But maybe I will do a whip parade for my 1 year anniversary of Flosstubes in September, because now there's a lot of whip parades anyway, and that way you would have one when there are not so many. So that's my train of thought, but no definite plans there today. Yeah. Also, and now I have to look up the correct name of it. July 19th to 20th will be the Midsummer Stitch, hosted by Lindy Stitches, and this is an online event basically. As far as I understand it, it's similar to the Jingle Ball, but with out all the shopping and other things. It's just like community and stitchery rooms and stuff. So I will definitely be there. I still have to figure out times and how I'm going to do that, because obviously it's geared towards American time zone. So the start will be Friday, Saturday midnight for me. So we'll see. But if you're going, if you purchased your ticket, please let me know, and I will also post on Instagram during the weekend probably where I'm at and in what rooms I am, so that we can get to some chatting and stitching. Also, this event, plus my going to the Big Stitch at the end of July, I will be there in 4 weeks, means that I decided not to host Stitches Zoom in July, because yeah, we can meet up at the Midsummer Stitch anyway, if you want to. And the tickets are only $8, so very affordable. Alright, so let's get right into stitching now. I haven't had any FFOs or finishes in the last 12 days. I had so many finishes in May. In the beginning of June, that I wasn't able to do any more, but that's fine. Let me get out my starts. So the first one is in my Tiny Town project folder that I made. And I think I mentioned this in the last video, but I decided to start Seaside Tiny Town on the first day of summer, which was obviously June 21st. And this is what it looks like. It's by Heart in Hand. I am stitching all of my tiny towns so far, and hopefully going forward as well, on 28 count cappuccino even weave by Fibrony Whim 2x2 with CXC threads. And yeah, for Seaside I did a color conversion, because I just wanted the colors to be a little bit deeper and brighter. Well, not necessarily brighter, I guess just deeper. So this is my colors. I don't know if you can really, whoops, sorry. Good start. These are my colors. I stayed with the colors of the pattern, but just, yeah, gave them a little more depth. And I omitted some colors because there were a few of them in there that were very similar, and I didn't feel the need to have all of them. And this is my progress. It's so cute. Alex mentioned in a Zoom that this looks not very tiny on 28 count. I mean, if I hold it up into the camera so that you can see, it looks quite big, but next to my head it looks small. And my head is not huge. I hope. Okay, back to stitching. So I'm just over halfway. I think in here is the middle. Yeah, oh, it's so cute. And I don't know if you can tell, but it's brighter than the called for. The cover image is, I think, even a little bit more faded than the colors in real life are if you do the called for, but still. And I really like what I did there. So yeah. Lovely. I am so much more happy with this than with my Blooming Tiny Town that I did the called for. And oh yeah, and actually the called for are overrides, and I used the DMC, provided DMC conversion, and then did a conversion off of that. So just to be clear. Yeah, cute. I love it. Yeah. Okay, that's it. I like stitching on that, and as I said, just over 50%, and I just need to close it up because otherwise it would go everywhere. The next new start was not planned at all. I had been watching Jen from Jen's Fiberweb and Elizabeth of Savory Sewing, and they showed this mystery stitch along, and I saw it again and again, and finally I gave in and started it because it's just stunning and I had the perfect fabric for it. I'm talking about the Forest Fairy Tale Cell by Quaternion Creations, and I hope I'm pronouncing this correctly, but I think I am. So this is a mystery stitch along, which I do not tend to like anymore, but for this one 3 parts were out and I loved it. And so I started it last Sunday, so 1 week ago, and I have all 3 clues that are out done already. Let me show you. Where am I? Ta-da! Yeah. I'll come a little bit closer. Can you see? Yeah, I think you can. This is what I have so far. So I have the 3 clues done, but I didn't finish up the border because I'm afraid of miscounting, so I will just do that as I go down. But that's that. This is 36 count Kiwi linen by XJU Designs, and it's not coming across quite right, maybe like this. It's a kiwi green in real life. It's a little brighter in real life than it shows on camera. And I am stitching this with sulky thread 1/2. And the colors I'm using them as the main color, I'm using sulky. It's the Cotton Petite 12 weight 1271. It's a dark green, and as accents I'm using sulky 51 and 1039. I love this. It's so fun to stitch. It's so fun to see it come to life. And yeah, that wolf. Oh, and the pops of red in there. Yeah, I'm super happy I started this. And the next clue comes out, I think, July 10th, if I am correct. So there's a little bit of a break at the moment, and I got caught up yesterday on this, so really happy about that. And just like that, we are on to whips, and I only have 2. Before we start onto cross stitch whips, I just want to quickly show you my knitting whip. I talked about this last video as well, I think, that I wanted to get some progress on that. And funny thing, I started back on this on the first really hot day here, and I was knitting on my commute home from work in the bus, and people were looking at me like, who's that crazy lady knitting at like super high heat weather? Yeah, but I had fun. This is the what's it called? Celtic Myths Fingering Weight Shawl. You can find it on Ravelry. It's a free knitting pattern, and I'm doing it with a dark green wool. If you want to know any details, please let me know. And yeah, the rows are getting longer and longer, and they don't fit on my needles anymore, but that's all right. And this is where I started back. All of that I did at the end of last year, and that's what I did since I lost Soyu, which is quite a bit because, as I said, the rows are getting longer and longer. I don't have that many left, I think 6 more repeats, and then we're onto the cabling end part, and I have no idea how to do cabling, but that's a problem for future me. Maybe I will take that to the big stitch and hopefully find someone there that knows how to knit cables. Maybe? We'll see. But back to stitching now. The first whip I want to show you lives in this bag. This was the whip of the weeks, inspired by the Hathaway Stitchers and chosen by my friend Alex Stitches. And she chose Scissor Sampler by Tellin Emblem. And I got a good amount of progress, I would say. Let me just find the top. Yeah, like that. And this is where I am now. So I finished up both of those leafy borders, and I think that's cool. Yeah, I just love this on that linen. This is a 32 count linen by Nicolas Flamel design on Etsy. It was part of the Little Sampler Collection pack, but it has no individual name. It's super lovely to stitch on it, and I love how the colors look. There are so many colors in that thing. Every time I stitch on it, I'm not quite sure if that's really necessary, but on the other hand, it looks gorgeous, so I guess it is. Yeah. Amazing. I love stitching on that, and I'm really glad that Alex picked that. And then I had one other whip I worked on, and I will hopefully put some more effort in today. This is Albert and Effie by Long Dog Samplers, and this is, I took this out for the June dog, a stitch along that's happening in June. So I wanted to get a little bit of progress. I had hoped to finish that motif maybe today. We'll see. Okay, so that's the whole piece. I started this in May, I think May 2nd. This is 36 count deep impact linen by XJU Designs. It comes across very true right now. And now for a little more close up of my stitching. I started in the middle. This is Sulky again. Sulky 1197, 1/2, and my hope for June was to finish up that motif, but that border, it's easy to stitch, but oh wow, there's a lot of stitches in there. This is so cute. Very, very sweet. So yeah. And I'm doing the back stitch with Sulky as well, because there's not too much of it. There's some in here and here. I think it's alright. It's not too thick. So yeah, I will stitch on that today. Today's Sunday. Will I be able to finish that piece? I don't know. It would be amazing. Yeah, and that's it for actual stitching for the last 12 days. It wasn't nothing, but I focused on a small amount of projects, which, yeah, made me get a lot of progress on them, but it doesn't take a lot of time to show you. It's basically what I want to say. Whew. I feel the heat. My hair feels the heat. I'm gonna do a little quick water break and then be right back, which you don't really will notice because of editing, and talk about plants. And in the meantime, stay hydrated. Be right back. As I mentioned before, I decided to join the fun of Jolly July, Christmas in July stitching. But that's not all I have planned in July. I have my regular things I want to keep caught up on, which is mainly No Time Like the Present by Modern Folk Embroidery. I think I will take that to my trip to Manchester and the Big Stitch at the end of the month, which will lead me to be a little bit anxious to get that I get it done, but also it's perfect travel stitching, and I think it would be great retreat stitching as well, because it's easy to see, it's only 2 colors, yeah, it's very easy for me to stitch on. And also I want to keep up with the Forest Fairy Tale sale that I just started. And then I have another whip of the weeks chosen by Alex, and this lives in this project bag. That's a handbag, but yeah. And she chose Leave Me Alone by the Witchy Stitcher, which was or is a sale hosted by Erin Cozy Town Stitches and Elizabeth Savory Sewing. And Alex and I joined in, and I think a few other people as well. And Alex just finished this last week, I think. So if you're curious, head on over to her Instagram, because she did it on a blue fabric and it's stunning. And I mentioned to her that it's so amazing and I wish I had it done as well. So she picked it for me to stitch on. I'm doing it with the Called for DMC, it's just a handful. On 40 count Verdal in Old Mushroom by XJU Designs. This is what I have so far. So yeah, there is quite a bit still to do. I just want to get progress. I don't know, I don't really think I could get this finished in until I film again, but we will see. It's also 40 count Verdal, so not too easy to see, but I just love how this looks. And as I said, I want this on my wall, and that's where Alex picked it, so thanks. Yeah, that's that one. And I have one more not Christmas related project that I had planned to start in July, at the end of July. This is the next month of the Cricut collection that I want to do, and it is August by the Cricut collection, and my birthday is in August, so this is why this one is in the first round of months. I think I have all of the patterns now. Yeah, so I put this in that project bag I made. This housed albatrosses before, but that one is done. So yeah, what am I doing? I plan to stitch that on 32 count Dirty Water by XJU Designs. We have an XJU Designs episode here. Yeah, it looks like this, and this looks quite true. It's like a light sky blue with gray sandy mottling, so perfect for August stitching. And that pattern is very beachy themed, and so yeah, I tried to pull all the colors, and these are notoriously color heavy, so there are so many colors, and some of them have like 5 or 10 stitches, and I just don't really get it. So I condensed them. I kept the colors, but I don't have all of them. It doesn't look like much because it needs only a little bit, so yeah, this doesn't look very enticing. But yeah, the main color for the letters is Fred Colors Silk and Colors Slate Blue. So this will be the letters, and I think this will look stunning. And I had thought of starting this at the end of July, so probably at the big stitch, but also I have another start planned for that. Yeah, I don't know yet. I mean, it's ready to go, so oops. Yeah. On to Christmas in July now. I have a pile of stuff. The first one being a new start for tomorrow, actually. Tomorrow, Alex starts the bauble all the way stitch along for the new pattern of boomerang stitches, bauble birds. And I saw this and bought it the same day, I think. And then I saw Alex stitch along, and yeah, that's that. Last time I asked you about your opinion on fabrics, and a lot of you chose the Rustico Ada, and that was my favorite as well. So this is what I'm planning to do. I pulled all the called for colors in CXC. So this is such a fun color palette. I really like that it's Christmas in July, Christmas stitch, but it's Christmas in July, and I kind of think this is our summery colors as well. So yeah, very, very happy about that. And now it doesn't show. And that's the Rustico Ada. And I have two kinds. I have a 22 count. I didn't know that it existed, but yeah. So it would be cute and tiny. And I have an 18 count, so still cute and tiny, but a little bit bigger. And I kind of want to do it on the 22, but I'm not sure if the CXC will be too thick for that, because CXC is just a little fluffier than DMC. For example, I like to stitch 2/2 on 32 count with DMC, but I don't like it with the CXC. So this could be too bulky, then I will change to the 18 count. So I have both of them in there. I will try that tomorrow and see what, or maybe I will do some test stitches today so that I'm ready to go tomorrow. Yeah, still in a Amazon bag, but that's fine. Then I have one more start I have planned for July, or it's basically a restart. And this is for my Days of Christmas pieces by Hello from Miss Matthews. I wasn't happy with the 2/2 I first started it on, and yeah, and then I heard in the last video Stephanie of Cross Stitch the Globe talking about starting a Liz Matthews piece for her birthday in July. I cannot for the life of me remember the hashtag for that sale, and I can't find it right now, so I will put it here. And yeah, I haven't decided on a date yet. Maybe I will start on Stephanie's actual birthday, which is in the middle of July, or on a weekend. I still have to figure that out, but I have another piece of fabric, and this is, does it show that? Actually does, quite nicely. This is a 25 count even weave in opalescent that I overdyed last week with a little bit of sandy, goldy and silvery, just very lightly overdyed, which I wanted. And my plan now is to do it 1/1 full cross. I have not only the colors for the first day here, but I think for the first few days. And I am going to do the whole thing with the simple border, because I didn't like the border stitching that much. And also the first few borders are only black and then color gets added in, and in my mind that's weird, and so and I really love the look of it, and I think it could look stunning on 25. Also, I don't think I will be doing the border in black. I haven't decided on the color yet. Maybe I will just do a gray or something. Or I still have all those classic Colorworks Erin Go Emerald flossers from originally wanting to do Albert and Effie with them. So this is a dark emerald green. I think this could work. What's your opinion? Yeah. And so, yeah. I have the first 5 patterns. And yeah. This is a planned restart for July. So, Christmas in July stitching and Stephanie's birthday. So, and I have that in this wonderful Christmassy bag I made in December. I had thought about one more new start of Christmas in July, but I probably won't. I just want to show you. It's a little dimensions sled kit. Very cute, but this will only come out if I get very bored, which I probably won't. So yeah, that's it. Because I just remembered that I might have another restart. This is a lot of plans, but we will see what I get to, and what I don't get to I will just do in November or December. Whatever. This lives in this super sweet project bag I made with those birdies. And I started this last year in December, and it is Winter Sampler by Jenny van de Wiele. And yeah, the thing is, I pulled threads for this. This isn't even DMC mostly, I think. This is just no, and also not CXC because I didn't know about them in December, I think. So this is just no name thread. So there are some DMC in there. Whatever, it's a jumbled mess. And the fabric I started this on is again XJU. We have a theme here today. And this is marbled steel 36 count opalescent, and that's what I have. So only a tiny little thing, plus there's a mistake in that flower, and I know that I will probably not enjoy stitching this anymore, 2/2. So I talked to Alex, as I do, and now I think about converting this into sulkies. And yeah, it looks a little bit sparse here already because I took some colors out, but I think this should be doable. So maybe this will be a restart as well, but maybe not. I don't know. Now that I'm talking about all of this, I get a little bit overwhelmed. Yeah, it's just plans. Or who calls them hopes and dreams? Is it Cam the Stitcher? I'm not sure. Yeah, so that's that one. And then, are we done? No, we're not. I want to touch, at least for one strand, all my other Christmas whips, which are 3. So that's not too much. First one being Christmas Parade by Cottage Garden Samplings. It's that one. Sorry for the glare. I'm stitching that with all the cold for DMC on 32 count vintage gray, or I think it's called vintage stormy night in the US, Lugana. And that's what I have so far. I am in the belly of Santa. Yeah, very cute pattern. I like this. So that's that one, and that lives again in the project bag I made. Now I don't know which side I want to show you stuff. Let's get back to that side. Then I have Dimensions Gold Collection Petite Woodland Cheer. I worked on that in January, I think. I did all the background of the tree. I am doing that with the kit Floss, but I changed the fabric to 32 count little dot linen by Zweigart. And that's what I got to last time. So just filling in animals now. Yeah. It's weird. In January I was mad about stitching Christmas, and now I'm really looking forward to it. Is it the distance to Christmas that you're like more inclined, or just the fact that the community is doing it? Whatever. Or maybe you want to cool down by thinking about Christmas? Who knows? One more whip lives in this project bag. Look at those trees. This is Christmas Quaker by Daily Pattern Post. This was a restart I did. When did I restart this? I originally started this August 9th of last year, and then I restarted it in December, I think. And this is my cutout of what I had before. There you can see all the colors I'm using, but I started it in the wrong spot. And this is what I have now. Just a tiny bit. I am stitching this with various overdyes, and yeah, so let me quickly look. The light red is Louisiana Hot Sauce by Wix Dyeworks. The darker red, this one, is Merlot by Wix Dyeworks. The lighter green, this one, is Steamed Broccoli by Classic Colorworks. And then the dark green is 319 DMC, and the white I originally wanted to use Whitewash by Weeks, but just doesn't make any sense, so I'm gonna use a DMC white. No. Oh, and the gold is a Petite Treasure braid. Yeah, and that is all my Christmas whips. The thing is, Big Stitch is coming up. And I want to bring some patterns that are easy to stitch on at a retreat, because this is what you get recommended. I don't know if I have any fill-in patterns. Maybe that's Santa. I could do the outline of the belly and then fill in the belly. That could be a good idea. Yeah, we will see. I will need to check what is a good retreat stitch. Then I am planning to have a big retreat start of a floral motif sampler, which I want to kit up there. And I'm sure there's going to be some starts coming along while I'm there, probably. So yeah, it's a lot. We will see what I will be doing and what I won't be doing. Yeah. Also, I want to do some sewing leading up to the retreat. I want to actually, let me grab it. So the Zip It Up case by Annie, I saw this on the channels of Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch and Bridget the Museum Stitcher, and I want to have one of those. So I even got the paper sewing pattern because I really want that, and maybe I will also sew some of those because they're cute. Yeah, but the problem with sewing at the moment is that my craft room gets really hot in the afternoons. You cannot sew in here when it's that hot, so we will see how this is going to work out. Yeah, and I don't have any haul to show this time, but I did some fabric dyeing. I was inspired to dye some fabric because Alex Stitches on Instagram asked me for a specific fabric, or if I could do something like that. And I said, well, I can try. And she wanted a brownish base with orange and gray for Halloween stitching. And yeah, it took me a few tries of dyeing a fabric again and again because I don't know, the dye didn't want to stay in. And I think we have a good result now. I asked Alex if I could show these fabrics to you before I sent them to her, and she said yes. So here we are. The first one is the Halloweeny themed. Both of them are 36 count fat quarters as she requested. Oh my god, it looks so good on camera. Look at it. I love it. This is, yeah, I did some regular dyeing, then I went over it with ice dyeing, and then I went over it with some gray fabric spray. Yeah, it comes across quite nicely. That's the front, and the back is a little less modeled because, yeah, as I said, it's sprayed. Yeah, that's that one. I'm calling this Orange Tourmaline because I'm calling my fabrics after crystals that look a little bit like the fabric. So that's close up of that. And then she asked for a darkish tealish color. This is blue tourmaline. Oh, we have orange tourmaline and blue tourmaline. Well, this was not planned. I just realized. And yeah, this, I want to keep that. Well, I won't. I tried making my own teal, but you will see that later. It's not teal, but it's stunning. Yeah, look at it. Alex, I cannot wait to see what you do with these, and follow her on Instagram to see them in action, basically. And then I have 4 more that are, as you can see, in the same area of colors because I dyed them at the same time, or I did them as test runs. So the first one is 40 count linen. And the funny thing with this, I dyed that exactly at the same time as the teal one, just after it. So the dye was a little bit colder, not much, just a little bit. And at first I was a little bit bummed because it is not teal, but it's amazing. It's a very nice gray sky blue fabric. Yeah, I will definitely use that. I don't know for what yet, but wow. And just for reference, yeah. Then I like to use my dye that I like prepared for more than one fabric to get the most out of it. So I splashed a little bit on that as well. Ooh, that's pretty. This is a 30 count even weave I just had. I don't know where this came from. I really like how this turned out. No idea what I'm gonna use that for, but it's nice. It has no name yet. I only named the ones that I'm going to sand on. Then this is a 20 count Ada. This was light taupe before I touched it. And this was my test piece for the Halloween piece for Alex. And yeah, this has more gray splotches and it's Halloweeny. It's a little bit all over the place, but I will use it for small Halloween pieces for sure. Like that area, for example. Yeah, like it. And then the last one was one that I tried, the orange and brown dyeing, and I left it in too long, which was a good realization, but this was a cutoff that I had planned for the 12 days of Christmas and now not using. And I really like how this turned out. This is this, yeah, autumny leafy color now. So yeah, this was my fabric shenanigans of the last week. And the thing is, with fabric dyeing, it takes quite a lot of time. It takes my whole kitchen, and I never know what I get in the end. It's fun, but I have to be in the right mindset for it. I cannot do it in a rush, basically. Yeah, so that's it, what I wanted to show you. I feel like, do I say this every time? I feel like I didn't show a lot, but I talked a lot. I don't know. Before we wrap this up, I want to mention some floss tubers that I really enjoyed in the last weeks. All of them I mentioned before. You probably know most of them already, but I enjoyed their videos so much that I feel like I need to mention them here. First, Kansas City girl in a Colorado world did her mid-year whip parade. She has over 80 whips and all of them are amazing. Some of them are not my style, but I like looking at them in her videos. Yeah, her stitching is amazing, and if you haven't watched yet, go watch. Then Cross Stitch the Globe, Stephanie and Allison had their whip parade as well, and they did that in 2 parts, which was amazing to watch and listen to while stitching or yeah, doing other things like cleaning up my craft room. Thanks ladies for a wonderful video. I just love their dynamics, and Allison I met at a few of my Zooms before, which is great. So yeah, always amazing to see, and they have so many great videos, so go check them out if you haven't already. Then my friend Sally, Flossy Sews and Grows, put out a new video, and I cannot wait to meet you, Sally, in less than a month. I'm so excited. Yeah, she talked about her 50 for 50 project, how she organizes that, and of course her stitching, and yeah. Lovely. And then also really enjoyed the last video of Elizabeth Savory Sewing. I love her projects and how she organizes her stitching into monthly themes, and I could never do that because I'm sometimes all over the place, but I love seeing it and her progress. We have some projects in common, so yeah, all of them I really enjoyed. Oh, and I won't forget to mention My friends Fanny and Marion, the Soul Stitchers, had a new video out as well, and I watched that last Monday, and Mondays sometimes are hard, as we all know, and then in the evening I got to watch them, and it was just a joy. They're so fun, and I love that they talk about something and then they end up in Ireland. Like, not actually, but talking about Ireland. And I love that because when I stitch, yes, I want to see what you're stitching, but I also really like if I can get to know that person and follow them, their train of thought. So, yeah. I don't know. That's it for today. Life update. Is there a life update? I spent the last 2 weekends, well, not the whole weekend since it's Sunday today. But I was at my parents. They're back from their vacation, so I spent a day this weekend and last weekend with them and at their pool, which was super nice. Work has been quite busy the last week because it always tends to be at the end of a month. I have been researching a little bit what to do well in Manchester and what to visit. I originally had thought about going to Liverpool for a day. Probably won't do that this time, in the hopes that there will be that I will like Big Stitch and there will be one more next year, and that I can go visit Liverpool next year, because I don't want to cram it too much. I want to relax and enjoy as well. Yeah, anything else? It's hot. Have I mentioned that it's hot? Hydrate. I don't think so. Yeah, have been stitching, enjoying stitching, eating basically salads every day, because who wants to cook? And the thing is, if you watch and you're not from Europe, but from the US, for example, we don't have AC here. I mean, you probably don't have AC everywhere in the US as well, do you? I have no idea. But here in Austria, it's really not common to have AC in your apartment or house. It's getting more common because more and more people are putting it into their houses because the summers are getting hotter. But yeah, we have AC at work, fortunately, because it would be torture without it. But at home, we don't here. And so we live right next to a forest, which is really good because at least at night it tends to cool down enough so that you are able to sleep very well. Last night was the first night this year, and I think including last year, that I woke up again and again because of being hot. So yeah, let's hope that those nights are not very frequent. Yeah, I think that's it. I feel like I still want to talk to you about something, but I don't want to bore you with talking about stuff that's not that interesting, basically. So let's wrap it up here. My plans for filming. Okay, I plan to film one more Flosstube in 2 weeks, and then in 4 weeks I will be at the Big Stitch, but I hope to do like a retreat vlog preparation style video for that, inspired by Elizabeth Elizabeth and Can Stitch. Did those for StitchCon and Stitch North, and I really like watching them, so I hope to do that as well, to show you what I'm bringing for my very first retreat. I have no idea yet. So that's my plans. I hope to show you my planned whips for the retreat in the next video. And until then, stay hydrated if it's hot where you are, and even if it's not. Happy stitching, have a nice Jolly July if you are joining or not, and yeah, hope to see you soon. Bye!